This is the PyMag waterfall. Now, you're probably familiar with the waterfall already, which is why you're watching this video. As you know, it's an amazing piece of design. It has design and utility patents pending because it works using a simple gravity system and supplies multiple filtration, pi, and magnetic technologies. Now, to help you get the optimum use out of your PyMag waterfall, there are a couple of procedures you'll wish to perform before the first operation. First, here's what we'll do. We'll take it apart. Lid comes off. The upper tank, the fill tank, lifts off, and inside that is the filter column. You can pop the filter column out like that. I'll take this cartridge and put the fill tank back on here for a second. On top of the filter cartridge is this lid. A little twist. We'll take the lid off. Underneath that are the two pre-filter pads. Remove the two pre-filter pads. One. Sometimes you got to dig in a little bit. Get that one. The next one. We'll need both of these. And we'll do a soak procedure on all three of these components. Now we're ready to perform the pre-soak procedure. Now, this is something that you will want to do with the new filter when you receive the unit, and you'll also need to do this every time you replace the filter with the replacement component. For pre-soak, you need a bucket or pail or whatever receptacle will hold water enough. You put the filter cartridge in and you add water until you reach a level that is just under the top of the filter. In other words, it'll come up right to about where that rubber gasket is. And that's the appropriate fill level. This will need to soak. Yeah, you'll notice it's bobbing around a little bit, but when it begins to absorb more water, it will settle down. Also take the pre-filter pads. You place them in to soak. And as far as soak time is concerned, the optimum time is really overnight, because it'll take several hours for this to seep into all the passages between the carbon granules and the various other filter media. At least a few hours, give it, and as I said, overnight is optimal. But one thing you will need to do is check it periodically, because as water is absorbed into the filter, the level will drop here, and you'll need to augment that by adding water enough to keep it up to that line. As far as filtration times go, when the filter is new and the first few times you use it, the flow rate will probably be rather slow. But as time goes on and it cycles more water, the time will improve, and you should get a pretty rapid flow rate from putting the water into the top tank and the water flowing into the bottom tank. Now we've completed our soaking procedure, the pre-soak. Ideally it's overnight. At any rate, it's several hours at a minimum to make sure that the filtration media are completely saturated. When you're ready, after that's completed, you'll simply take out the filter and you will reassemble the components in this way. Take each one of the pre-filter pads, squeeze to get a little bit of that water out of there, and the air pockets mainly, to remove the excess air bubbles that could be in there. You'll replace, again, gentle squeeze, get out the air. Replace the filter pads. The cap goes on next, and the cap will fit just by snapping it on. Now it's in place. And you'll reassemble the filter, placing the cartridge inside the top fill tank. What you'll need to do is, I'm taking this out here just to make it clearer, make sure that the seal, the rubber seal around there, is pressed evenly and tightly into the supply tank. That way the water will go only through the filter component and not around the edge. Reassemble it, put the top back on, and you're all set to go with filtration until the next time you need to replace the filter. The final step in the filter preparation procedure, before you're ready to use the waterfall, the first thing you want to do is position it like this over a sink or somewhere else where the water can drain out, because you'll need to flush the unit a couple of times. Take off the lid. You're going to be pouring water into the top, and at the same time you'll be letting water drain out the bottom. The reason why we're doing this is because some of the filter media, carbon particles and other filter media that have accumulated or come loose during shipping, will still be in there, and we're just removing the excess filtration media from the filter so that it will not appear in the water. While you are pouring the water in the top, take this lever, which controls the flow, tilt it up like that. That will allow the water to flow out. And you'll keep continuously pouring water in the top and letting it flow out, and continue that process until you have flowed through 2 or 3 cycles. And when you've done that, the filtration procedure is complete and you'll be ready to use the unit.